Coming to you live from the Harry Fales Gymnasium, this is the SmeeSports pregame show on the SmeeSports YouTube channel as we get you ready for tonight's matchup between the number 1 seeded Alliance Aviators and the number 47 seed Akron Firestone Falcons. As we toss things upstairs, I am Nathan Smee, your play-by-play commentator for tonight. Alongside me is a stranger. I don't remember your name because I haven't called an Alliance game with you in nearly a month. But Cooper Fontaine, welcome back.
Yeah, it's great to be back. I'm about 2 weeks removed from watching Alliance Aviators basketball in person. It feels good to be back. I mean, these are my boys. It's hard, you know, you see them in school, and you're like, oh, man, wish I could go to the away game today, guys. Wish I could be there today, guys. And, you know, you don't see it for 2 weeks. It just feels great to be back, you know, in Harry Fales Gymnasium, watching playoff basketball now.
And to your point, the fans overall are 10 days removed from Aviator basketball and 13 days removed from a game here in Harry Fales Gymnasium. The last time Alliance had a game in this gymnasium, for the first time in J.R. Jackson's career, and for that matter, the entire senior class's career, they were outright EBC champions, beating West Branch in their last game, a convincing 10-plus point victory on the road at New Philadelphia, which, in a rare occurrence, it was Sam Hayes as the leading scorer with 20 when J.R. Jackson had 15.
Yeah, definitely a lot going on. You know, first they beat Canfield, which was a huge win, but that wasn't the main point. Was the next day they play West Branch for the EBC title. As you mentioned, never been outright champions in the career of any of these seniors. I'm sure it felt good. You have to look back last year, they tied. Even freshman year, they tied with J.R. Jackson, and that was a completely different squad. But just huge accomplishments by them. And like you mentioned, Sam Hayes, a huge contributor against New Philly. I believe he had 22?
I saw 20.
20. I knew he had over 20, or 20 or more rather, but still, great job by him. You love to see, you know, some of those players who are a little lower on the depth charts stepping up when a player like J.R. Jackson doesn't have his average 20 points a game.
And we'll talk about it more once we do a more deeper dive into both teams. But Alliance's offense, it has been struggling as of late. In their last 3 games, they're averaging 50 points a pop. Akron Firestone in that 43-ish range. You put that into perspective, this is a 7-point-ish game, which is outlandish considering there is a 46, what's the best way to say this? 46 number discrepancy in the seeding, 46
right.
seeds, whichever way you want to describe it. 46 spots, that's the best way to do it, between Alliance and Akron Firestone. 1 seed, 47.
I think even more of an insane number comparison is you look at the all overall Ohio rankings. Alliance, I believe right now, is 28th. Akron Firestone in this 650 range. That's over 600 spots in the Ohio rankings. Again, that's regardless of division, but still, the fact that those point averages are that close together, it gives you a little bit of a scare if you're the Alliance Aviators, especially with your offense being in a slight slump.
And of the teams that we cover really heavily for basketball, so Holy Name, Padua, Warrensville Heights, Garfield Heights, Minerva, Alliance, Marlington. Where do you think Alliance's opponent ranks of their opponents tonight?
Between all of those teams that we
Out of
just
7.
listed, I think
The opponent, that is, of course.
so. Pitting Akron Firestone against all of those teams, where do they rank against them? I think, to me, they have. I think they would be just in second to last, slightly under Minerva, just above Marlington. Obviously, I don't watch that much Akron Firestone basketball, but I think Rowan Hoffey with the 3-point firepower, and
We're talking about the opponents of these teams, not the teams themselves.
Oh, like strength of schedule.
The teams that they're playing tonight.
You know.
Do I need to list out who these teams are playing real quick? Because I can do that right now.
I'm sorry.
Garfield has Akron North. Warrensville Heights has Lincoln West. Of course, Alliance has Firestone. Minerva's, I think, Beaver local. Marlington's up in Cleveland at Benedictine. Padua's on the road at Nordonia. Holy Name is at Cleveland Central Catholic.
I think out of all those people, Firestone has the hardest matchup. In my eyes, I think
the rankings to spoil it is 5th. Akron North and Lincoln West are lower in rankings.
All right.
And speaking of Akron Firestone, here they come onto the floor. So they're here ready to go. They're going to be in their row black jerseys. I'll tell you what, Cooper, those are nice.
Yeah, those are some good-looking jerseys. The trend I'm seeing right now with, in my eyes, the best-looking high school jerseys, they got the script on the front. West Branch has some nice black and white jerseys, and it says West Branch in script across the front. And you also look at the nickname jerseys, like they got the Lou jerseys or
Those Lutheran East ones are really nice.
or DeVille jerseys, which is Warrensville's jerseys. I think those are pretty fly. They don't have the script, but I like nickname jerseys. Maybe in the future we see some A-Town jerseys coming into Alliance. That could be fun. But overall,
Script to A-Town when the new floor's done.
Yeah.
I at least assume a new floor would be in place after the EBC is done.
Well, this is the same floor that we had when we were in the NBC. They just patched over the NBC. The NBC logo used to be in that baby blue. They just patched over it and put it in red. So maybe we'll see.
Now, if you add in a fourth letter, it's going to really mess up the entire thing.
Yeah, that would make it a little more difficult.
Before we go to break, I want to get your thoughts here, and then we'll bring in Daniel Clark, our resident Texan, will say. The OHSAA playoff rankings. DC, don't be shy. Come on in.
Let's see if we can make some room.
There we go. He is here for pregame. But a lot of the talk of the town right now, given what we've seen from the sectional tournament for the boys and for the girls so far, are there too many teams in the tournament? Keep in mind, we're seeing a 1 versus 47 tonight and going back up to Cleveland. 0-17 Lincoln West is playing in the playoffs tonight. What do we think about the playoffs? And if there were to be a format change, what do you want to see?
I haven't really been paying all too much attention to what's going on right now in OHSAA. I have been busy with other dealings within the community and whatnot. What I do expect from Alliance tonight is for them to ball out like they always have, like they always are going to. To answer your question about there being too many teams in the playoffs, I feel like that just adds more competition to whatever everybody has going on. You can't really have too many teams. Now, when it does get into the issue of, we had that big old snowstorm. We had a lot of stuff just going on within the high school realm. It just gets tricky, but I think there's just the right amount of teams.
And while we still have you here, DC, if they were to make a format change that aligned with football, i.e. the top 16 teams formerly or now top 12 in each region, go back to a regional format, made the playoffs, would that be better?
Short answer, no. But I feel that it would just change what everybody is able to do and how we're able to schedule everybody.
And then the other one would be you get those double or triple buys like you see in a Big Ten tournament where the top 4 seeds have, I believe, 3 buys. Do you have these 30 through 50 teams duke it out and that's your sectional tournament? Would that be better?
I wouldn't know how to answer that question until I see the competition level in the 30 through 50. You know what I'm saying? But from like the format aspect of it, I think that would be a lot better.
And Cooper, I'll bring it back to you. If we're doing that 30 to 50, the first team out in Division III, at least this pod, will be the Louisville Leopards.
Yeah, and I think it's difficult, like DC said, when you have to find that Goldilocks range of teams. Because you can't exclude too many teams. To me, it's too fun to watch the underdogs play spoiler. You can't count all these teams out. Record's not everything. It's just hard to find that Goldilocks range. That's why right now we have a 1 versus 47 seed match. But to think that one of the first teams out could be one of these, incredible teams, the Louisville Leopards, could be them or the Aurora Greenmen. It's like, it makes you think the way that they format this stuff and why it changes so often.
And for the sake of that, on the bottom, number 39, that's Lake at 39. 43 Willoughby South playing number 11 Akron Garfield and number 13 Bedford. It's really a tough one. The playoffs, it's just such a weird thing, especially with 7 divisions, and that is one of the biggest gripes. For basketball, they want to go back down to 4. Now, for football, unpopular opinion, I think it's the right move to have it at 7. I think you have to keep it at 7. I think we're going to force it to be, compact. Do we have to see every single year a battle between Marion Local and Kirtland, Colonel Crawfield, going up to 5, some teams there, or Division 4 and 3 if they combine? TCC versus Glenville, do we see that every year? Division 1, who's in there? Hoban, Massillon, Eds, Ignatius once they get back to their best. It's a slippery slope depending on how you want to mold the playoffs. And DC, I don't know how they do it in Texas, but one thing I know for sure, it's bigger in Texas.
I mean, it's a lot more of a strenuous thought process, getting all the teams together and whatnot. And I honestly think that Texas doesn't do it as well as Ohio. It's just too many teams. You know, we got teams that you're not even playing full 11-man football. You know, you're still playing 9-man football, 7-man football.
Which we have here in Ohio with teams like Sebring, McKinley.
Okay, then yeah. So, but even at that point, you're still going across the entire state with a lot. That's seen throughout the year. Now, the amount of bye games that I heard that you said 3 bye games, is that what we're looking at? Or?
I mean, I could see that as a realistic thing. Like I'm saying with the Big Ten tournament, we do apologize for a second there. The microphone did go down. But I think for the most part, you could see something like that happen. It's just a tough one. But when we return, we're going to talk about these teams a little bit more. What to expect from Alliance and from Akron Firestone as you are watching. Well, welcome back to the Harry Fields Gymnasium in Alliance for the SmeeSports pregame show on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. I am Nathan Smee. Alongside me tonight is going to be Daniel Clark. For the time being, Cooper is off in La La Land, a.k.a. getting ready to do pregame introductions. So, DC, let's talk a little bit about both of these teams. Obviously, Alliance, they're the big bads right now as the buzzer sounds. You have 20 minutes to warm up. That is the OHSAA standard. That time has started. 20-2 on the year. 9-1 in the conference. They're conference champions. From what you've seen this season, how impressive has this team been?
I think this has been one of the most impressive Alliance basketball teams in the past 10 years of Alliance basketball. My stepbrother, Marquavian McClendon, also played on the Alliance team about 2 years ago. He played on varsity 3 years out of his 4 years in high school, and he played with some dogs. But that team, honestly,
Jaden Proctor days?
Yeah, those days, yeah. And I don't think that team's beating this team right now. I think this team just has too much team chemistry. They always know how to get down the court together. I've never seen this team play apart. That's like the biggest thing.
And that, of course, is going to be huge. The only way that this team would lose to that prior team is J.R. Jackson, who's on both teams.
Yeah.
It's O'Neal passing to O'Neal.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? That's sad. But J.R. Jackson's he's got one of those things where he can just bring the juice or he can give it to somebody else when it's needed. And you really need to show that importance, that amount of leadership in a game like this.
And here come those Alliance Aviators. They are ready for war tonight, and they are ready for redemption as last year, DC, in this building in the sectional championship game, it was Barberton coming in and getting the upset. Obviously, a lot of tonight is going to be avoiding a repeat of last season in the sectional championship game.
Yeah, I mean, Barberton is one of those teams you kind of just got to know how to play them. You know, you got to know how to play them. You got to know how to scheme them. You got to know that they're taller. They're going to have those guys that are going to be able to come down score and make those short layups and just get into the basket. So, you know, tonight you just have to have a really good idea of how to play this team.
And the thing with that Barberton team last year, I don't know if Firestone has that Cartier Tyler, that De'Arion Barber, one of those takeover guys, even a Vernon Reynolds. They do have a Nate Plass. If he is going to be a key figure tonight, which we've seen him once before on the channel, didn't have the best high school season, but out of nowhere, 5 innings, 1 earned run against one of the best T3 teams at the 16U level. It was a later implosion from a different pitcher that lost them that game, but I was watching back that footage, and when I saw that name, Nate Plass, I'm like, you know what? If he's in the game, it's just one of those guys that once we're here, they just perform.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to have to get going. But kind of going back to Alliance, you know, you say something about the warm-up time, and it just been 20 minutes. Alliance doesn't need 20 minutes to warm up. You know, I don't think they've ever needed 20 minutes. I don't think they're ever going to need that full amount of time to warm up because they just have so much talent. They have a lot of dogs, and they're always going. They're always working. You know, if you ever go to a high school basketball team and watch them practice just for an afternoon and you see all the people who are able to just keep going all day, you know those are the real players. Those are the real ball players. And that's the thing about Alliance. They have those guys.
And you saw moments ago, that was the Akron Firestone team joining us on the floor. They're a very, very interesting team to break down. They were 3-19 last year, 1 and done in the tournament. This year, 5-16, so an improvement there. But they haven't won a non-conference game since February 23rd, 2024, and that was a victory against a team that went 19-4 that season, the Norton Panthers, who currently are a number 2 seed in Division 4.
Yeah, that's a real upset. That's a real underdog win right there.
And it came right around this time, so if you're Akron Firestone, you are going to be heavily leaning into that game from a few years ago. But I just want to make this clear that these guys can compete. We can sit here and talk, hey, you know what? They're the 47 seed. They're not going to do anything. No. The playoffs throw everything you know about basketball out the window. Going back to Holy Name, my last 2 years there. Number 2 seed. We had 1 regular season loss. Benedictine comes in as a 21 seed and beats us.
Wow.
Then my senior year, it's these guys. Number 33 seed Alliance comes in and beats us. And then last year, Alliance, as well in the sectional championship game, gets beat by Barberton.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say
Maybe I'm just cursed.
About,
Maybe it's just me.
Hey, you know what? That's what I'm saying. So with the Falcons, you really can't rely on any superstition about Alliance because Alliance...
Their key to victory is me being here.
Oh, okay. You know what, Smee? If the key to victory is you being here, we're going to need you at every single game from now on. Every single game.
I wouldn't mind doing Akron City. I wouldn't mind it.
You have to go now. You got to make that trip out there.
And I will say one of their wins this season was a team that won states a few years ago in Akron Buchtel.
Oh, okay. So they're actually very talented. You know, but that's the crazy thing about Alliance right now is that even though they're so talented, they have a lot of talent under them too. Like that JV squad that we're always watching. I think they're one of the greatest JV squads that I've seen in Alliance in the past 2 years. Now, I did see a really, really good JV squad 6 years ago, like I said, with my stepbrother on that team because he was obviously one of the better people on the team. But even so, I mean, we just have a lot of talent right now to work with.
And a lot of that goes down to Chet Harper as the head coach. 9-15, or rather no, 9-13, excuse me, in his first season as the head coach. Followed that up with a 15-8 season. No, it was 9-15. Then the 15-8, this year 20-2 in the regular season. The last time Alliance won 20 games in the regular season, DC, let's look over on the wall. 2011-2012 season, 20-0, final AP poll number 2. And that year they bowed out in the district championship game to St. Vincent St. Mary, which Alliance, believe it or not, given how good they've been in recent memory, has not won a district crown since the 1982 season, and a big reason why, two really good schools from Akron, Hoban and St. V's.
Yeah.
In the district championship game, if we have chalk games, it's going to be a very, very tough one.
Yeah.
Rayshawn Hamilton and Akron Garfield.
Just a baller. Just a stand-up guy, stand-up baller. To bring it back to Alliance, though, you know, Alliance has had a lot of changes at the coaching staff in the past 3 years, but also great additions. Like some of the old players from Mount Union's basketball team have also started to enter the coaching staff on Alliance, and I know that it was in the same season that they started to see a growth within their program. So another shout out to Mount Union basketball.
And looking at Colin Gurley, he unlocked Tajay Nicholson at the JV level, which then led to his breakout at the varsity level.
Right.
And beyond that, just to see how Colin was in his first game as a JV coach against Northwest last year to what he was doing down the stretch, I even told him, you have improved so much as a coach. And he really did.
Yeah, he most definitely did. And, you know, you can actually see him improving a lot of other things going on at Mount Union as well. Like, you speak about Deshaun, who's got the block record. Now, right now, you know, he used to work with Deshaun as well. When Deshaun was first started at Mount Union, when he was first at Mount Union, he didn't play. His freshman year at Mount Union, he didn't play at all. Everybody was asking him, you know, you look just like Wimby. Why aren't you playing basketball right now? He didn't have the resources to play. But once he got under their ring, he just started to look a lot better, started to act a lot better, started to get a lot closer with God and whatnot. You know, I know him personally, so I know he's gotten way closer with God in that same time frame. And, you know, it's just a lot of good people like Cullen able to affect programs like these ones.
And, of course, Mike Feuerlein, the head coach over at Mount Union, and then his high school coach and Babe Kwasniak over at Cornerstone Christian. And that Kwasniak name, it's pedigree at the high school level. But bringing it back one more time before we go to break with Akron Firestone. If they win tonight, it's going to be because of what?
They got to stop JR. They got to stop JR. That's about it. I mean, I see a few guys over there. You know, I haven't really done any in-depth watching of what they're doing right now, but I see a few guys over there that are looking pretty talented. They're making a lot of shots in the warm-up. They're looking like they're locked in for the game, ready to go. But we still have to see that in the game time.
And we still have 12 minutes of warm-ups left to go. When we return, we're going to talk about these teams' last couple of games, along with some other local area predictions, as you are watching the SmeeSports pregame show on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Welcome back to the Harry Fales Gymnasium in Alliance as you are watching the SmeeSports pregame show on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. As we cue us back in up here in our quote-unquote press box, I am Nathan Smee. Alongside me tonight for pregame, Daniel Clark. And on the call, it'll be Cooper Fontaine, who is getting ready down below to be our PA announcer for the Alliance Aviator introductions. DC, I'm sad we only get to see those introductions one more time, potentially after this. They do such a great job, the cheer staff, with making those posters, and of course the players. They know how to act when the cameras are out.
I mean, I will hope so. Every single time a camera is down there, they always make sure to present themselves very professionally. You know, every single time Graham gets down there, I think they get a little wild. You know, I think they like Graham a little bit over there. But, you know, it's always a good time here, man.
I mean, I would hope so. He goes to school with them. But looking at this game, DC, I have one thing that really could cost Alliance, and that is their last 3 games averaging 50 points a game. And this is a team who overall is averaging 65.4. And yes, I get it. Canfield, West Branch, New Philly. That's a gauntlet. What has to change?
I think the amount of time you let your players play, at this point it's late in the season. It's extremely late in the season. And you can't play every single player, every single star player at that as much as you want to. You have to give them a break. You got to back off. You got to back off on the gas a little bit. Because when you press the gas too much for too long, you get oil that's old. And you don't want old oil in your car.
To close out pregame, DC, you want to do some predictions here?
Let's do it.
Now, you can predict this game because you're not on the call. I think you have Alliance here.
To be honest, my prediction of this game will have to really go after the first quarter because I don't know too much about how the Falcons play together. From my own point of view, I would like to see that. But, of course, I'm going to root for the hometown.
I had to throw you a bone there, DC. I had to do it, but I like how you went with that one. Below us, Louisville, Aurora. Who do you got?
I'm going to go ahead and go with Aurora on that one. Louisville definitely has a lot of good players. They got a lot of good standout guys. But Aurora, I know them to be a better team.
Louisville's lost their last 8 games. They have one less win than Aurora. I think Aurora wins and gets the upset and then comes here, and that's going to be a good game on Tuesday night. I'm excited for that one if that's the one that happens. Below it in the bracket, Bedford and Willoughby South. Jermaine Gay is one of the best head coaches in the Cleveland area. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Bedford's going to win, and he is going to solidify his case to be one of the best head coaches in Bedford history, even more so this season.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
In year number 2.
I 100% agree.
And then below that, Akron, Garfield, and Uniontown Lake. Do we need to have debate here?
Yeah, because I want to have some hope in Uniontown, buddy. I want to say that they're going to be more than just an underdog that game and that they're going to kind of like shoot through the grapevine.
Well, Star Sports Coverage has given his prediction. Let me know how the Alliance blowout goes tonight. That is what I just received.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I was going to cut you off right there for a second, but I had good grace and respect and patience kind of running through my veins as I was watching this Falcon team throw up a few layups. And, guys, if you want to see a great game tonight, I promise you that ESPN will be hosting a lot of great games, but we are going to be hosting an even better one tonight.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't see it. I'll say that.
I don't see a blowout happening tonight. I think these two teams are not evenly matched. Alliance is most definitely, in my opinion, better of the two teams, but from what I've seen from Falcon is that these guys are not just ready to just stand down and give up the dub, you know?
I think this one's going to be a good one. I would agree there. Looking at some other local games, Strasburg-Franklin has Bishop Rosencrantz tonight. I have Rosencrantz getting the win.
Yeah, me too.
Going beyond that, West G and Orville, Coda Allen. He is an
West
absolute
G.
ball. Oh!
Give me West G, baby.
They were really good last year. They barely got by Holy Name in a home playoff game. We now have Lear from them, I believe it is. Coda Allen. He had such a great regular season for the Red Riders, and they just continue that and win tonight. Northwestern Kenston. Kenston 19-3. But Tristan Pennington, he's not going to go out without a fight, and he's not going to go out tonight.
No, I don't think so neither. I think Northwest got it, though.
And were you there for the Northwest game at Canal Fulton?
Yeah, I was.
So we've seen how they can play, and they almost beat this Alliance team. I think they win tonight over Kenston. Catholic Central, not Central Catholic. That is I think it's Philo Catholic Central against Malvern. I have Malvern winning that one. I mean, Dennis Tucci, a serial winner. He knows how to get the job done.
Well, Catholic Central, because my aunt who just passed away was Catholic, I'm just going to go ahead and go with y'all in memory of her. Go Catholic Central.
The resident Catholic did not go with Catholic. Which,
well,
now that puts it in perspective for me.
even if she didn't go to the school, she would have repped the name.
We got one more local game, West Branch, Canton South. The first one was a close meeting. It was a 4-point game in the end. Call me crazy here, DC. Canton South gets redemption tonight.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think it was just too close the first time around.
Yeah.
I would have to agree, but that'll do it for the SmeeSports pregame show. Stay with us in a few minutes. It's time for our player introductions and tip-off on the SmeeSports YouTube channel.
Sir.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove. Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field. Say goodnight to that baseball.
And there's another one. It's back to back Jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point. And it's alive. Hansen pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
Tonight on SmeeSports, it is win or go home from Harry Fales Gymnasium on the campus of Alliance High School as the #1 seed Alliance Aviators welcome in the number 47 seed and 5-16 Firestone Falcons on this edition of OHSAA Basketball in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Hello friends, Nathan Smee, and well, for pregame's sake, Daniel Clark with you. It'll be Cooper Fontaine joining me on the call in a few minutes. But DC, we've talked pregame, we've talked shop. I'm excited for this one tonight.
Yeah, I am too. I'm very excited. I was just down there talking to Cullen Gurley, and I was just telling him how, we were just talking about you on the broadcast a little bit, how you went to Mount Union and whatnot. He was like, yeah, man, I'm going to have to run that back and go watch it. I was like, yeah, man, just stay locked in on the game, though. That's what we need. We want everybody locked in on the game. Straight basketball tonight. Everybody has to be hyped, locked in, and respecting one another, because once you get that dub or once you get up, you have to realize, oh, yeah, it's over. But you don't want it to be over, man. You need it to keep going until you get that win, until that clock strikes 0. Once you see 2 fat donuts on that scoreboard, that's when you know you're good.
Basketball will be 0-0, actually.
Oh, 0-0. Excuse me, with 0-0 on the scoreboard. Yeah, we got seconds, don't we? Yeah, seconds and minutes.
Yes, we do. It's going to be a big one tonight. As we said, the winner advances to the district semifinals on Tuesday night. The loser begins preparation for the next season, and they say goodbye to the class of 2026. That's the only difficult part right now of the playoffs. Somebody's season has to come to an end, but yet it's so entertaining beyond that fact. With that in mind, we will toss things downstairs to our in-house public address announcer who will get us underway with our introductions, our pregame announcements, along with our national anthem.
The Harry Fales Gymnasium, the home of the Alliance Aviators. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in the greatest country in the world with freedoms like no other. to honor America and in respect for all who have served the country and those who are still serving the country to defend the freedoms we enjoy. We ask gentlemen to please remove your hats, and everyone who is able to please stand for the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Commissioner and the Board of Directors of the Ohio High School Athletic Association extends to each of you a cordial welcome to this sectional basketball tournament game in Division III between Alliance High School and Akron Firestone High School. The athletes playing here today are friendly rivals as members of opposing teams. The officials assigned to this game have been selected by the basketball coaches in Ohio through a system approved by the Board of Directors. The officials for this game are Christian Miller, Chad Oakes, and Doug Goss. The athletes, coaches, and officials are guests of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. You are requested to so regard them and to treat them in keeping with the ideals of good sportsmanship. Now to meet the teams, the visitors on the scoreboard, the Akron Firestone Falcons. Head coach, Ryan Neubauer. Assistant coach, Antonio Goodwin, Javier Jackson, and Angelo Donatelli. The non-starters, number 2, Sergio Flowers. Number 3, DJ Jones. Number 4, Reggie Reddick. Number 5, Lawrence Wilson. Number 13, Daniel Tabaluka. Number 15, Kyrie Ramsey. Number 21, Beckham Nethkin. And number 32, Nate Ploss. Now the Firestone starters. Number 1, Derek Kruger. Number 10, Hassan Anderson. Number 11, Fabian Sherman. Number 23, Jordan Dampier. And number 24, Peyton Spencer Jackson. Now to meet your host aviators. Head coach, Chet Harper. Assistant coaches, Corey Stevens, Rich Jackson, Tim Lake, Daryl Strotter, Colin Gurley, and Justin Woods. The non-starters, number 35, Michael Hardy. Number 30, Zaylin Williams. Number 24, Demontre Gurley. Number 0, Cash Buster. Number 4, Ravon Hoffman. Number 5, Braylon Sears. Number 10, Chester Hartford Jr. Number 12, Kavion Thomas. Number 20, Channing Jellison. And now for your Aviator starter.
Standing 6'3" and never afraid to back down from a challenge. He's known to be a defensive menace and a pest in the paint. 2-year starter and EDC honorable mention. You know him, you love him. It's Mr. Hustle, senior number 32, Firestone. The big man down low, standing 6'7". 2-year starter, EBC second team, and Stark County second team. The junior wearing the big blue, number 22. It's Sam Hayes. At guard, standing 6'4", a 3-year varsity starter, EBC second team, and Stark County honorable mention. He's in the cockpit with the Aviators, where he belongs. It's junior number 11, Carter At point guard, standing 5'8" and leading the Aviators in flight. He's got ice in his veins and can hit from anywhere on the court. 2-year starter and EBC second team. It's senior number 3, Kenny B. Fontaine. And last but certainly not least, a 4-year starter, 2-time All-Ohio guard and 2-time EBC Player of the Year. A 3-point sharpshooter and playmaker with vision like no other. Aviator fans, let's make some noise for Stark County's Player of the Year, a senior there wearing number 1, ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Jackson!
Harry Field Gymnasium has been loud before, but when JR's name was announced, that might be the loudest it's been all season, and that says something. Once again, coming to you live from the Harry Field Gymnasium and Alliance, this is OHSAA Basketball on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Time locally is 7:08 p.m., and we are ready to go for the sectional championship game. The winner advances to the district semifinals on Tuesday. The loser drops down to the 26-27 season and gets ready to go for November and December. A lot on the line tonight for both teams. A lot of pressure on the Alliance Aviators. And Cooper Fontaine is ready to go up here with us as the opening tip will fall to Firestone. And we are off to the races in A-Town.
Oh, it's exciting to be up here so fast after I was just downstairs introducing the players.
Good job, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
But here comes Firestone, their first offensive possession of the night. And, of course, they have the Aviator fans right there being loud, but they will take the opening basket. It's Derek Kruger knocking it down.
Yeah, how about that? A little wild mid-range to get things started for Firestone. Unapologetic buckets. I'm tripping over my words here.
I like that opening shot there. Not the most conventional, but it gets the job done. Pasco, his mid-range, also good.
And that's the Cole Pasco signature right there, is that just 2 steps inside the three-point line, the longest 2 you'll ever see, but it's cash every time from him.
And we usually don't see him take those kinds of shots. He's become more of a defensive guy as the season has gone on. And there it is from Sam Hayes, and they're going to call a tech.
A tech?
He went T, 51 seconds in.
Okay, first of all, I was going to say that's crazy just as we were talking about defensive players. But that's inexplicable. I have nothing I have nothing about that. That's
And you see it on that end. The smoke from the introductions is still lingering, but what a gift. That's exactly what Akron Firestone needed.
absolutely any sort of cushion that you could get early in the game. You know what? You'll take it. Unapologetic buckets, I think, is the name of the game right now.
And Derek Kruger has all 3 tonight for Akron Firestone. And they once again have the lead. His second, also good.
Make it all 4. How about that?
And possession, too.
Yeah. A block from Sam Hayes. Gone awry. Technical on him. 2 free throws to Akron Firestone, and they lead by 2.
I don't think they like the fact that he stood over him after the fact.
Yeah, I think that'll be a taunting or unsportsmanlike conduct, I suppose, would be their ruling on that.
And once again, here comes the Akron Firestone offense, averaging 46.6 points per game in their last 3, 43.6. But so far, a 2-point lead on Alliance. Could have been a travel there, not called in the end. Now Dampier, the senior, standing at 6'4", driving inside, and there is the travel.
And just like you said, Cole Pasco, the defensive guy here for the Aviators, kept his feet set and forced the travel.
And that's what you're going to have to do. And as this student section gets louder and louder, playing in this gym is going to only get more difficult.
Yeah, it's a tough environment, especially when you have a all-camo student section like this.
Cam Burton fakes in the corner. Now the wing 3, and it's good.
That was sweet from Cam Burton. A little sidestep. Get out of my way. And the three-pointer good to take back the lead.
That is Alliance's first lead of the night. And here comes Firestone trying to match. Heavy pump fake in the corner, now back top. Firestone getting hungry early on in this one. Loose ball. Hayes gets a piece. Not strong enough. There's the basket on the bank. It's Peyton Spencer Jackson.
And that was all over Cole Pasco, too, so no easy buckets there.
And now it's J.R. Jackson, his first shot. And he can't get that one to go, but it's Hayes the rebound, and it's going to be poked out of bounds. A nice play defensively by Fabian Sherman, the junior.
Yeah, able to stop the big body down low, Sam Hayes. He got the rebound, but he did not retain possession, and Aviators are going to have to set it up again.
Alliance has to be careful against this Firestone team. They have the grittiness so far, and there's the block. And this one's going to be a jump ball, and it will stay down here with the Aviators.
Just the grittiness from the Firestone Falcons so far has been what has actually kept them leading the game so far.
I don't think we expected anything less. Burton on the inbound, another long mid-range. This one shot from Cole Pasco. It's going to be Parker Woods the rebound. In traffic, no good. And there is the foul from behind. Pasco draws the contact, and it's going to be on Jordan Dampier.
And great job by Cole Pasco, doing what he does best, going up for rebounds in the paint, and able to draw the foul. We talk about how good this Alliance team is at drawing contact. You look at players like J.R. Jackson and Parker Woods. When they're driving, Cole Pasco is really good at engaging in the paint, off the ball, going for rebounds and such.
Willie KB to inbound. It's Sam Hayes, the mid-range. Off kilter, rebound Cam Burton. Another chance, and it's rejected out of bounds. Spencer Jackson has been Mr. Hustle tonight.
And the way I look at it, if you're KB, that's just not the shot. That's kind of out of your wheelhouse a little there as a guard. Turnaround mid-ranges.
And this is an Alliance offense who needs to have a strong start tonight, averaging 50 in their last 3 games. No shot. It's going to be a foul before it. J.R. Jackson not too happy with the call.
And again, that's just something that it's going to happen with playoff basketball. You're going to end up arguing calls more. You're going to be, you know, it means more, right?
It's simple. You win, your season continues. You lose, you're done. Jackson, his mid-range, too strong. And it's going to be an easy rebound down low for Spencer Jackson.
Just a bit off there by J.R. Jackson. A bit long on his threes, which he isn't normally.
And here comes Anderson in the offense. Spencer Jackson loose in the paint and picked up by the Marlington transfer in Parker Woods. And here come the Aviators on offense. A big defensive stop from A-Town. Now they need this offense to really unlock their full potential. The potential that we've seen all season. Woods well shy on the attempt. Jackson, attempt 2. This one's good. And playoff J.R. Jackson has officially arrived.
Well, the first thing I want to say is, how about that layup attempt by Parker Woods? That would have been a jelly if one was ever thrown up. Three-pointer there.
Not going to be there, and it's Parker Woods, the lengthy rebound, getting it over Spencer Jackson. And here comes JR in transition. Down low, Cole Pasco, and he banks it in.
How about the vision there by J.R. Jackson? Just a little zip pass inside. Cole Pasco, he's got 4.
Alliance, their biggest lead of the game, up by 3. Here comes Nate Plass for Firestone. Quickly trapped in the double team. Out wide, now to the corner. It's going to be Kruger driving in. Deep 3, and it's just a bit shy. Plass the rebound and blocked by Parker Woods. How many blocks have we seen so far?
As much as it's been a defensive battle, both these guys are scoring at will.
And here comes Sam Hayes, and that one's off kilter. But again, it's Plasko the rebound. KB's corner 3, same result. Another chance, no good from Hayes. And there is the rebound for Kruger.
Good hustle down low by the Aviators, but just to no avail as they could not get it to fall into the basket.
And here comes Kruger coast to coast for Plass in the elbow. Now driving down low. Bank too strong. Spencer Jackson the rebound and the and one. My goodness, Peyton Spencer Jackson.
Wow, I mean, this has just been crazy so far. We are, gets my heart pumping a little more than doing those player intros, I tell you that.
We have a dogfight early.
Oh my, wow, I mean, I'm just.
Is this what you expected so far?
Well, for what we talked about in pregame, you know, we talked about Akron Firestone being a team that they love hanging into games that people kind of write them off on. And that's exactly what they've done so far. That free throw tying it up 9-9 here.
I thought we'd have maybe an early lead for Firestone, which we did, but at this point in the game, I did not see it. But as you said, it's the scrappiness of this team. They know how to impose their will when they need to. For the first time tonight, it's Cash Brisker, and it's not Cash Money that time. Kruger the rebound. And here come those Falcons. I'm impressed so far from Firestone. This has been a great result for them, but still plenty of basketball left to go, and they are not satisfied with this. And here's the timeout called. That's the right choice there from their head coach in Brian Neubauer. They had to do something there to calm it down. Nearly a backcourt violation, nearly a turnover at the timeline. Call time, settle things down. You're tied, 3:16 on the clock in the first. This is the dream start.
I was going to say, you're right where you want to be if you're Akron Firestone. You're the 47 seed. At the end of the day, that's the chip on your shoulder. But they have been proving themselves that they deserve a little more than that 47 seed because they're hanging in there with who should be the best of them, the #1 seed Aviators.
And again, going back to it, Lincoln West is a 37 seed who's 0-17. I think it's absurd that this is a 47 seed. The lowest seed I've ever seen was back in the 4-division format, 53 seed, and that was Orville, who was 5-16, just like this team.
Yeah, I would say it gets to a point where there's something that needs to be changed. No offense to either team, but the matchup that we're watching right now is not a #1 seed versus #47 seed matchup at the end of the day.
This is where you have to play the Scooby-Doo game of let's see who you really are. And Firestone, they want Barberton under the mask from last season.
Don't even give me flashbacks to that game, Smee.
Kruger, loose ball. It's off of Brisker's feet, and it stays with Akron Firestone. There's that grittiness yet again, and it's a free possession for the Falcons. Sherman down low, picks up Plass. Less than 3 to go in the opening frame. Firestone nowhere to go but in. Now Spencer Jackson under the basket, out wide. It's Sherman. Can't get that one to go. A lot of great movement all the way around, but in the end, an empty possession for Firestone. And here come the Aviators again. It's Hayes underneath the basket and good.
How about Sam Hayes showing the physicality? You know, obviously he's 6'7". He's not scared of getting in the paint, getting some physical buckets.
And over Nate Plass, a 6'4" forward for this team. It's power on power there. And here's the double team yet again, Alliance. They're getting really scrappy with those so far. Corner 3. This one rolls out, and it's Spraylon Sears the rebound. That was a big opportunity, but Alliance, it's all systems go. It's J.R. Jackson, all systems go, and he's got it.
And you know what, right now, I'm glad we got past that technical in that first few minutes because right now, they're just letting these kids play. It's been scrappy. It's been physical. It's been what you want from playoff basketball.
13-9, Alliance up by 4. The first 2-possession lead of the game for either team. Spencer Jackson, Kruger wide open, it's good.
Beautiful ball movement right there. That's exactly what you want to see as a coach, getting the easy buckets right where you want them.
And Coach Brian Neubauer, as well, the AD over at Firestone, so he has to be very pleased so far. 13-11, a 2-point lead for the Aviators. Only 90 seconds on the clock in the first. Kind of a surprise so far. High pass intercepted. Hayes wasn't paying attention, and here comes Kruger over Jackson, and there's the hustle again from JR. Strong defense. It's 3-on-2 for Alliance. Brisker down low, in traffic, too shy, tipped out and out of bounds, back to Firestone. But that's one of those miscues you can't have right there if you are Alliance.
I think that goes both ways because you missed the fast break layup. Both teams, just some slight things here and there that if you clean that up, I mean, both ways. You're either going to be, the other team makes the mistakes, you're winning. You make more of those mistakes, you're losing. It's the little things right now.
But so far, a scrappy game all the way around 13-11. It's Alliance up by 2. Still plenty of time left for both teams. Anderson picks up Spencer Jackson, but it's Brisker with the steal. And Sears able to get it away from Cash Brisker. An excellent steal for the junior guard. And his role next year replacing KB. And so far, he has lived up to that task when needed.
Especially on defense. He is just such a menace on defense. I mean, he's a huge asset to this team.
And another great block! It's Peyton Spencer Jackson. Do not tempt that man. He is going to get his block.
Especially right now, I think if you're Cam Burton, I'm glad to see he's not getting discouraged right now, and he keeps taking the shots that he wants. But if you get blocked like that 2 times in a row, it's got to send some kind of message.
Sears wide open, lays it in. And a beautiful dish there from Big K, Kavion Thomas.
That's exactly where I was going with that. You need your big to have some court vision. He gets it in the post, just kicks it right out. Easy bucket.
30 seconds on the clock in the first. Alliance up by 4, and they get the ball right back.
And that is the same miscue that we're talking about, is that might be the difference between winning and losing this game.
Once again, the winner of this game takes on the winner of the number 29 seeded Louisville Leopards and the number 35 seeded Aurora Greenmen. That game will be on Tuesday at the highest seeds house. Final 10 seconds of this opening quarter. You remember last year at halftime, KB, he had that 3. Does he have another buzzer beater in him, or does somebody else? It's Sears. 2 seconds on the clock, running out of time. Brisker at the buzzer, can't get it up, and a great defensive set by Firestone to close out the first.
Just better clock management is what you want to see there from the Aviators. You got to get it to one of those 2 players, KB or JR.
Through 8 minutes here at Harry Fales Gymnasium, we got a nail-biter. It's Alliance up 15-11 on Akron Firestone as you are watching OHSAA basketball on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Well, welcome back to Harry Fales Gymnasium. 8 minutes down, 24 left to go in regulation. And so far, I would say so good. A 4-point lead for Alliance, but then again, I would say so far so good for Akron Firestone.
Right. You look at it, it's comfortable, but not too comfortable. As we've seen, this is a gritty team. Gritty on defense, gritty on offense, every which way. Oh, my word.
I like the effort, not the execution there from Hassan Anderson.
Again, grit. Both these teams are super gritty, but Akron Firestone hanging in a game that most people would say, oh, Alliance is winning easily. They're the number 1 seed. Akron Firestone's the 47 seed. Let's take a look at the score, and I'll let you be the decider of whether this is an obvious game or not.
And I'll tell you what, from what I've heard up in Cleveland, Bedford and Akron Garfield, they're not looking at Alliance. That's just kind of what they're seeing. Jellison down low in the paint, the rebound. And it's going to be a foul, I believe, on Firestone, and there it is. But in talking to some people up in the Cleveland media, they've dismissed Alliance as a threat. They're saying the winner of the district semi, Bedford, Akron, Garfield, most likely, of course, it could change if Willoughby South or Lake gets an upset, but that'll be your team representing the district.
Right. It gets difficult because, you know, oof,
And no foul called. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
A clean block that time around from Reggie Reddick, the freshman.
I was going to say, with Alliance, even with the years with Coach Kakura,
And a deep three, and that one's going to be wide right.
Even in the years with Coach Kakura, you look at, there was a game they played, tournament game against St. Vincent St. Mary. The pregame report, they said, Alliance, that's not a real team. St. Vincent St. Mary will wipe the floor with them.
And there's the steal again. It's Reddick. 2 great defensive plays. And here comes Kruger in transition. Pokes it out wide. That 3. Same result, just a bit shy. Jackson fighting for the rebound. Picked up by Cam Burton for Alliance instead. And the Aviators, they need to get a basket quick. In the corner, J.R. Jackson. And he's money.
He heard you. He heard you. He heard, Aviators need a basket quick. I got you. Corner 3.
You rang? One of those from J.R. Jackson, now with 7. Jackson goes down, again no foul. They are letting him play. It's true bully ball. Now J.R. Jackson, and it's green. Back-to-back trace for J.R. Jackson,
Dude.
and here's the timeout.
Dude, did you see the dish from KB? Behind the back, no look. JR deep 3 on the wing. Dude. Oh my God.
And that's why Chet Harper wanted to bring him in from Canton McKinley.
This is what gets my heart beating. After 2 weeks, they knew what I needed. Wow. This is that, the flashy, high-paced offense that we've grown to love here in Harry Fales Gymnasium. Aviators giving us a show so far. Wow.
And that's a group that knows what's up. Score update from Louisville. It's Aurora 16, Louisville 6. And that's in quarter number 2. The Greenmen, the 35 seed, they want to keep it green. And we got Coach Graffis up here. We got to see his boys practicing a little bit on the baseball field. Coach, any comments for baseball here? Nothing? And he's going back to hiding.
Yeah, he said it's a long ways away. And, it really is. But we are so ready for it. Just always ready for some Alliance Aviator sports.
I was watching the Kent State-Rhode Island game while we were setting up here. Very depressed that Tri-C and Bay has been canceled this weekend. But still, I'm not going to complain. I got Mount Lacrosse tomorrow, 2 men's volleyball games as well. You know what? Mount Lax and men's volleyball, Coach Perillo, Coach Mihalik, you can do a lot worse than that.
Right.
I'm so excited, though, for lacrosse, man. Talon Osmond, he's the real deal. If you have Flow Sports, tune in tomorrow at 1. That's the place to be. Back to the action here at the Harry Fales Gymnasium. 6:30 on the clock in the first half. Firestone down by 10, their biggest deficit of the night. But still such a strong start for them. Kruger down low, picks up Jackson, and he will lay it in. Peyton Spencer Jackson, he now has 7. He is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he's that guy for the Aviators.
And Jellison finishing over him this time.
And then back and forth between those two. Jellison a little late on defense. And then right back at him. I'm just so excited right now. I'm stumbling over my words. I have been since the start of the game.
Loose ball again picked up by Firestone. Jellison rolls right over it. High pass down low, somehow finds Reddick, and he will score. But right now, Firestone, it is simply home run ball after home run ball, and they are knocking it out of the park. And Jackson, he draws the blocking foul.
Wow.
Foul number 3 on the Falcons in the quarter. And I thought that time he just stepped out of bounds. Same with the fans.
I was going to say instantly in my mind, I thought he stepped out of bounds, but JR just able to draw the contact while literally falling out of bounds. That's crazy.
That's just who J.R. Jackson is. And what did you say about him in Stark County in your intro?
Player of the year via, I believe, Sam and Lee courtside.
Sam Berkwin knows what's up. That's allowable. Jackson in traffic draws the foul, and it'll be free throws. But, of course, nothing but respect to those guys. I believe they're over at Jackson. No. I think I saw on his show, I think they're at Louisville. I think they're doing that game. I could be wrong. I know Dan Belford's over there for WHBC at that game, Jackson and Massillon tonight.
WHBC, you look at football, JR was WHBC Stark County Player of the Year in football.
That's why I went there.
Q92, Player of the Year in basketball. JR Jackson, just a fantastic all-around athlete.
And I'll tell you what, Q92 knows what's up. I worked there for a fall. And, of course, great relationships all the way around there with Christian and those guys. They know what's up. They always have. I wanted to give them a shout-out when I can, as, in a way, without Christian, we wouldn't be here tonight. Here comes Spencer Jackson and company. Reddick open in the corner now. Kruger in the wing. Down low to Jackson in the double team for the and one.
Oh, my goodness.
He is a monster.
Dude. may have found a real gem here. This is not on my docket. He is cooking, man. He's a beast.
He's only a junior. Once again, we go back to Mount Union. Mike Fulan. Let's take a look here at Firestone, please. I mean, he has been lights out so far, as that one's good. He now has 10.
10 of Firestone's 18, by the way.
He has been so physical tonight for them.
He also has like 2 blocks, 4 rebounds. I mean, just getting it done.
Beautiful pass down low to Cole Pasco, but it's too strong. He anticipated him being there. Again, being that much of a physical presence, it is a true gift for Peyton Spencer Jackson. And here he comes eyeing up Parker Woods. Now down low, Ploss, out wide, an open 3. This one's good! And Firestone is right back in it. It is DJ Jones, the senior.
And great job by Ploss, just taking 2 dribbles down low and dishing it out for a wide open 3.
And here comes JR in the offense. Brisker in the corner, under the basket, kicks it out for Sears, and he will boot it. Reddick picks it up again. Off the bench, he has been so special for this team. Now up the floor, it goes Jones in the paint, and he gets fouled.
Oh my goodness. If he hit that, make it right there a 3-point game, I think I would have literally had a heart attack. I mean, my heart's already going about 200 beats a minute. Like, it's bad right now, but that would have put me over.
And as well, score update now 21-10 over at Louisville. Aurora on top. First of 2 here for Jones is good. And speaking of Mount Union, head coach Jeff Dart for football in the house tonight. And of course, legendary former head coach and Larry Karras, of course, both relatives of, I would say, the greatest of them all, Cole Pasco.
Right. You know, and I think that's kind of just the perks of being in the city of Alliances. You get Alliance High School, and you got Mount Union Purple Raiders like 2 minutes away.
All kidding aside, both legends at Mount Union as well. I saw Coach Unk too. Coach Corey Unkrich, always good to see him as well. 4:25 on the clock until halftime. Back to a 2-point game. Parker Woods in the corner. No dice. Rebound Peyton Spencer Jackson. And here comes Reddick in transition. His floater wide left. Just didn't get set there. And there's the foul on Reddick, just getting too friendly. I like what Reddick has done so far. He needs to slow it down a little bit there. Too much too soon.
Just got a little antsy, got a little excited, and in a 2-point game against the number 1 seed, how could you not?
I think we're a little antsy up here. You have more skin in the game than I do, of course. I'm just here for a good basketball game, and going back to what I learned in St. Louis, as Joe Buck said, he has no favorites. He basically said, you know what, if we see a walk-off or a great basketball game, I win. And I agree with Joe Buck in that regard. First of 2, no good for Cam Burton.
Just rolls out. Didn't quite have the shooter's touch on that one.
Yeah, we'll have some content as well coming from the National Sports Forum in a few weeks. Some cool projects in the works. I know one that everybody, especially at Mount Union, is really going to love. And that one good for Cam Burton. He splits the pair. So a 3-point lead for the Aviators. 4:05 on the clock until halftime. What an interesting affair this has been in the sectional championship game. Jones goes far side. Reddick to tie it up. Rolls out, no good.
Oh, wow. Just did not have that shooter's touch.
The fans behind us telling him to keep shooting, and that's absolutely the right call.
Shoot or shoot.
And the fans that travel from Firestone, they are loud and they are loving it. And that one's out of bounds. It's last going to touch it, I believe, Ploss. But still, you got to give these fans credit. They're animated. They're loving it. This is what you want to see. Families making the 40, 45, probably longer drive down 77 here to Alliance to cheer on their family members, their friends, you name it. On the inbound, lobbed up to Hayes, and it's good.
Woo! How about that? You know, Sam Hayes, we know he can dunk.
A not so emphatic alley-oop.
Yeah. It was just a little light on the finish, and you know what? That's what you need.
Far side, Reddick in the corner, back out wide now to Jones. 3:25 until halftime, and Jones will get the foul called on Parker Woods. Did a nice job drawing it up there. That is foul number 3 on the Aviators this quarter.
And the one thing I do want to point out is the Aviators are currently in the bonus with 3 minutes left. That could make a huge difference down the line.
And this time poked out of bounds by Sam Hayes. Just read that one like a defensive back. And I know Coach Goodman for football, he's here in attendance tonight. He sees that from Sam Hayes. He wants to make him a great sub linebacker now, I'm sure.
I think Parker Woods lost a bracelet there, lost something, threw it into the crowd. But, yeah, you see a 6. Oh.
And there's the travel.
Yeah.
And again, Firestone wants the foul. It's a tough one. It really is.
Yeah. But I was going to say, you see a 6'7" kid like Sam Hayes, you got to want him to play every sport to an extent. Like, I'm certain he would be a fantastic jumper if the kid ran track.
3:10 until halftime. This one's still very highly contested. 28-23. Cam Burton at the top, far side. J.R. Jackson, just a bit shy. Was the rebound, rolls it out, no good. And it's out of bounds, and it's going to last touch the Aviators. And now that time I thought it was going to go off of Firestone.
It's just back and forth. You can never. It's too tough, man. All the different calls, especially you look at the playoffs, man. Again, you want fouls, you get travels. It's physical, it's gritty. That's just how the cookie crumbles.
And here comes the offensive Firestone. Plass hands it off behind. Jones now for Reddick. Reddick, a strong game off the bench. He has 2 points, but a whole host of defense. Spencer Jackson now 2:35 on the clock until halftime. A very exciting first half, a 5-point lead for Alliance. Kruger driving on Hayes, gets space, but gets blocked, gets his own miss, gets in the trap for Jackson, off the window too strong, he gets his own miss, and that one also no good. There's the rebound, and it's gonna be a foul as Kruger hits the ground hard.
How about Sam Hayes making a fantastic defensive effort, coming from behind on that block? I think he's got 3. I mean, it's a block party here in Harry Fales Gymnasium. Our total's probably nearing 10 at this point.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. This was more physical than Warrensville Garfield was a few weeks ago at Garfield. I can't believe I'm actually saying that sentence, but it is.
And I was going to say that is crazy, but
preposterous?
As of right now, it's preposterous, but it's true.
It definitely is. That game was a great game in its own right, though. Kruger for Ploss. From the elbow, it's good.
Ooh, quick release on that jumper. He got the ball. He knew he wanted the shot, cashed it out.
And I'll tell you what, we've seen him once on the channel. 5 innings pitched against one of the best T3 teams at the 16U level. Nate Ploss is a dog. It's plain and simple. Minute 50 until halftime. Jackson in the paint, in the triple team. No good on the bounce. Rebound Pasco, and he gets fouled. And again, Firestone, they don't like it. They're saying hands straight up.
If Cole Pasco finished that, I can guarantee you the entire student section would have lost their mind.
And on the opposite end, the parents are showing the hands up, which, to their point, I've seen it.
It's at the end of the day, it's a completely fair argument.
I do think Akron Firestone tonight has had so many calls go against them that shouldn't have. This team is fighting really hard, and I think they're doing the little things right. But on Alliance's side, I feel like it's the same thing.
I think right now the difference, both teams have had those small mistakes. It's just been hitting shots.
That missed layup, that was the big one. You had that mistake from Alliance, a rare one. You didn't capitalize. It'd be a 3-point game instead. Now it's 5.
Yeah, it's just hitting shots right now for Firestone.
And here they come trying to set up the offense again. Kruger in traffic, no good. Jackson the rebound, and the putback is good.
He is a monster, a beast. You've got a 6'7" kid and Cole Pasco in the paint, and you can't stop him.
He now has 12. A minute 20 on the clock. Alliance up by 3. Woods out wide for Sam Hayes. Sam inside the arc, kicked out of bounds off of Pasco, but they're going to say it's off of Firestone.
I think, now, I don't want to play devil's advocate. I am an Alliance fan, but it did look like it was off the leg. In my eyes, I try to stay as unbiased as possible, but I still think it was off of the foot.
I thought that was off of Parker, I think it was.
It was too close to call. KB for 3.
Not going to get that one. Jackson, though, the rebound. It's another chance for the Aviators. Offensive rebounds right now, that is their competitive advantage. And here comes JR again, and it's cleanly taken away. Another strong defensive stop for Firestone. And here come the Falcons down by 3. Ploss from the free throw line. Not going to get it.
And again, JR there. That might get counted as a block, which will just add to our game total.
Now it's Sam Hayes driving on Jackson, and the layup is good.
Smooth step through, high finish, off the glass. Just beautiful from Sam Hayes. Poetry in motion, if you will.
Alliance back up by 5. Jackson double teamed. Able to find that outlet, but closer and closer to the timeline, and it's going to be poked out of bounds off of Sam Hayes. 26.3 on the clock here. Firestone has used 2 timeouts, so a timeout is out of the question right now. What do you set up?
I think at the end of the day right now, there's no question. Who has almost half of your team's points and easily the majority of your team's rebounds? Where's that ball going?
I think we all know it's going to go to Peyton Spencer Jackson. Or it could go to Derek Kruger. Kruger has 6. He opened the scoring. He had the opening 4 points. And he is going ISO here with 10 seconds on the clock until halftime. It's off the screen of Jackson. Poked away. Kruger picks it up again. Now inside. It's going to be Jackson in the slam at halftime. One more chance for Alliance, but that's halftime. It's a 3-point game at the break. 32-29. And hello, Peyton Spencer Jackson.
And what did I say? Where's that ball going? Peyton Spencer Jackson is a monster. And this dude is completely off of any of our radars.
You know who I see from Indiana? Trace Jackson Davis from back in the day.
And you know what? It's not just because of the hyphenated last name. Or Jackson.
No. He was so good at Indiana. That was maybe before your time.
That is before my time. But, you know, I tell you what. It's not even like the Aviators have had a bad game. The Aviators have had a fantastic game so far. They're doing everything right. Firestone is just too gritty.
And I said it, I think I told J-Rod in the car. Was it 24-18 I said at halftime? 24-18 I said. Firestone's a little bit closer than that. No, I said 24-15. Hold on. I switched it.
You might be onto something.
I said 55-35 was the final. I said I wasn't going to make a prediction, but for the sake of this, I think I was just going to say what I said pregame. This Firestone team, even if they lose tonight, they are representing Akron so well. And their new athletic director, one of his mantras is upping the quality of Akron public school athletics. If they win tonight, I think he has his biggest resume booster.
Statement game, absolutely. And even, like you said, even if they lose, this is just, they've represented so beautifully what it's all about. They're playing, I would say they're playing the game the right way. Great team passing, great grit and hustle from everyone across the board. I mean, this is playoff basketball, if I've ever seen it.
It has been for sure. As we toss things back down to the court, it's halftime at Harry Phil's Gymnasium, and we got ourselves a dogfight through 16 minutes. It is Alliance up 32-29 on Firestone, as you are watching OHSAA basketball on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance. Before we go back to the action, if you or someone you know is a business owner looking to sponsor a broadcast in the Cleveland or Stark County area, contact us at one of those avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote the best of your business and your brand. Thank you to Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance for making today's telecast possible, as they always do, for our coverage of Alliance and Marlington athletics. At the half, Cooper, 32-29, Alliance on top. We have one heck of a ball game in store.
Absolutely, and you know, we looked at your predictions, and you still had Firestone in a close game. Even if they're a 47 seed, Alliance's number 1 seed, we knew that this is a gritty team. They like to stay in games that people count them out of. And, you know, I don't want to say we were on the money, but I think they're keeping it closer than anyone thought.
Once again, I had it as a 6-point game at the half. It's a 3-point game.
So just half of your prediction, I mean, just a madness, I think is what I'll have to say. I'm over here having a heart attack as an Alliance fan. Like, I'm going to it's crazy, man. It doesn't feel great, but at the end of the day, I'm watching Alliance basketball. How can I not have a good time? So
at this point, my question is, did halftime just hurt Firestone?
And that's where it is, because, you know, Coach Harper, I've been told he gives some pretty life-changing halftime speeches. Alliance is a second-half team. That is what they do best. We'll see how they come out here.
And we've seen those team talks turn into actual results in the past. So that would be nothing new if it happens here. Hayes in the corner getting things underway, knocks down the 3.
And just like that, it's up to 6 points. Only took him 10, 20 seconds.
And here comes Firestone, their first possession of the second half. One big thing, those lob passes. Can Alliance shut it down? If they do, the distribution's gone. Kruger floats it up too strong. Rebound Cam Burton. And this is where Alliance goes absolutely berserk if they can. It's Woods driving inside. Clean lane, clean finish.
I think the big thing is the Aviators have the depth and the fitness to pull out just in the second half and do as much scoring as they need to do to win.
And here comes Spencer Jackson picking up Kruger on the far side. Those two have been 20 of the 29 points so far today. So 2 key impact players. Driving inside, good opportunity, but too good of defense from Sam Hayes. And here comes Cam Burton, full head of steam, coast to coast, and denied again. It's Peyton Spencer Jackson with the rejection.
That's a mouthful, but also Peyton Spencer Jackson, I believe that's his 3rd block against Cam Burton. All 3 coming in the painted area. Right now, if I'm Cam Burton, I'm going to be scared to take a shot against him.
And it's a wide open look on the inbound, not going to be there for Sam Hayes. Here's the double team. And it's going to be, I believe, a foul on Alliance. We'll see if that's what they do call or not, or if when he had the ball he stepped out first, which that looks to be more of the decision. It was a tough one either way, as this time it's roped out of bounds by Parker Woods. But kind of coffin cornering Firestone. Alliance has the advantage here, just given what we've seen from them on inbound plays.
Yeah, and it's just, oh man, this game is just absolutely insane so far. I'm at a loss for words, honestly.
And this game's far from over, even if Alliance takes a sizable lead. This Firestone team, they just have been rewriting what it means to be a 47 seed. All the talk about redoing the tournament, this is a team that wants to shut it down, and so far they are.
Well, and to me, it's not redoing the tournament in the sense of how many teams are let in. It might be seeding-wise, because looking at them play, there's no way. This does not look like a 47 seed team.
And the reason why partially they're here in this kind of snippet, they lost to Aurora, who's the 35 by 12. And that kind of helps here. Jackson's mid-range rolls out.
Just didn't have it there.
It's happened so many times tonight for Firestone. And here comes Woods in transition. Fakes on the 3. Now it's Sam Hayes driving left side. And there is the charge.
Wow.
And he is frustrated. And Sam Hayes may be a little lucky on the end of that. You saw that foot kind of roll right across his face. That's one that, if it's a more scrutinized game, that could be tech number 2.
Which, first of all, going back to that first tech, Sam Hayes got a block, and it was a technical foul. There's not much more I can say than that.
But this game has been bizarre in so many different ways. And if you're Firestone, you just first of all got to find a way to get this over the timeline. Secondly, Just got to keep up the pace. And this time it's Sam Hayes with the steal and the drive, and he is fouled.
Just couldn't finish it there. But yeah, this really has been a bizarre game, just in terms of gameplay. You know, it's not like possibly one of our most bizarre games of the year, which was Canton McKinley versus Alliance, where you have the scoreboard malfunction. You got the insane shot from Davey Thompson to go to overtime. This has just been, I mean, weird, like just individual weird things happening on the court. Sam Hayes makes the first of the two.
And the key right now for Alliance, you haven't allowed Firestone to score yet in the quarter.
Yeah, that is where they have shined so far, defensively and offensively. Sam Hayes misses the second to make it a 10-point game.
That's only the second missed free throw today for the Aviators. Plosh trapped, nowhere else to go, spins out of it and clears the timeline. The big man taking it all by himself. Now picked away by Woods. Now far side Kruger. He will drive inside, forces one up and makes it. An off-balance floater falls for Akron Firestone. Now back within 7. And here comes Sam Hayes trying to change that quickly. A high hook, picks up Pasco. Now Woods. Dynamite.
And you know what? As much as skill it takes to hit that three, I'm giving the credit to Cole Pasco making the pass and boxing out the closeout defender.
And that pass taken away by Cam Burton. It's a 3-on-2 fast break. All KB, and he will lay it in. Biggest lead of the night for Alliance, up by 12.
How about this from the Aviators? A huge run.
And here comes Firestone, and that one's a charge.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Cole Pasco that we know and love.
The tides have changed completely. In the words of Roman mythology, or really just Roman history, beware the Ides of March. And the Ides of March are getting closer and closer as the Aviators closer and closer to getting into the district tournaments.
Right, you look at the score. Firestone has scored 2. The Aviators, I believe, have 11, which is crazy considering they've only been playing for about 3 minutes of game time, if I'm not mistaken.
Something along those lines. As well, at the half, it was 25-17, Aurora on top of Louisville. We'll see if we have an update from over there yet. As the winner of that game will play the winner of this one. 32-24, Aurora in the third. So we're definitely keeping our eyes on that matchup. DC and I both did have Aurora winning that matchup. If that is our matchup Tuesday, I'm excited to see how that one will go.
That'll be a fun game and a new opponent for the Aviators, as they did already play Louisville in the season, a game that we covered, which is a great game.
And if that game doesn't happen, of course you want to see that rivalry. April 23rd, under the lights, Canal Park, Alliance Louisville, a playoff rematch. I'm getting excited thinking about that one.
Yeah, I mean, oh gosh, I'm just
and
so,
by the way, Berlin
so
Highland
antsy.
there too.
Good. I'm so antsy. I mean, I just love sports, man. That's why I'm here. At the end of the day.
Withdrawal. Aviator withdrawal from you.
Right. That's why we go back to it. You said I got more skin in the game. I definitely do right now. After that loss last year in the first round to Barberton, De'Aaron and Holly just dunking all over our team. Just heartbreaker.
But back to the action here. It's KB over Ploss. The floater's no good, and it's tipped out of bounds off of Alliance. But going back to the game over in the corner this time, we're right smack dab in the middle again.
Yeah, glad to be in the middle of it. The way I view this playoff series for the Aviators, and this whole year, it's just been a revenge tour. The Aviators so mad. Coach Harper so angry with that loss in the first round, wanting to get back on everyone they lost to and have
Kruger
a successful
not good there.
season.
And the only game they never avenged this year was West Branch. Even though they lost to him, they beat him again. Beautiful dish from J.R. Jackson, but Pasco can't get it to go, and Ploss will get the rebound, taken away by Hayes. Now it's a jump ball, and that should go to Firestone, and it will.
And you look at Sam Hayes trying to call a timeout there, but I don't think the Aviators had possession. That's not going to fly. Cole Pasco, you got to hit that. The flashy dish from J.R. Jackson, that's the second one of those that you've missed today. You got to get back on it.
That's just one of those tough ones that could come back to bite you, but right away, back on defense. That is that great mentality, and the mentality of him being a goalkeeper. Short-term memory. You make a mistake, right back on the other end trying to make up for it.
Absolutely.
It's an A+ for Firestone, fighting past Sam Hayes. Does have the size advantage, but not the height, and Hayes is able to get the steal, and Alliance is off to the races. Alliance, they have numbers, and it's going to be headed off the backboard back to Jackson in the double team, and they somehow will reset. And it's Parker Woods, and he can't knock it down. Rebound Pasco taken away, and the foul is on the floor. But going back to soccer, we saw just a little bit of it there.
Yeah, man, Cole Pasco, you look at him, definitely a defensive player. On offense, the only thing that you look at him for is catch passes and make open shots.
And that was Jordan Dampier. I believe that was off of his head.
Yeah, that was just wild. I think when you're running that fast break, your Parker Woods, he stopped outside of the three-point line. Just run the lane, get to the basket. Fast buckets. You don't need to take the risk shooting a three. Take the layup.
Now 32-30 over at Louisville. That game getting a lot closer. On the inbound, it's Jellison. Double team tips out. J.R. Jackson. And he can't get it to go. Dampier fought for the rebound. Brisker tried keeping it alive. But in the end, steps out of bounds with the ball in hand. And it goes back the other way.
We've kind of hit a bit of a plateau in scoring right now. Both teams have had a bit of trouble scoring, especially with how fast they got out. But right now, the Aviators are sitting at a 12-point lead, which is monumental considering that it was just a three-point game minutes ago.
And that is the biggest lead for either team tonight. And this one, it's tipped out of bounds. It's going to last touch Kruger. And he can't believe that one. Alliance gets the turnover.
And you know what? If you're Alliance, again, it's unapologetic. You've got to take everything you can get there, even if it's a controversial who touched it last call. You'll take it.
But still, if you're Alliance, you have to get a lot more points on the board. Winning by 15 here, not enough. And Jackson, he is fouled from behind. Where do you stand on that one? Of course, you're the #1 seed. You're expected to make it out of this district and win your first district crown since the 80s. Where do you stand now?
I think, well, with the fouls, what is the hold up here? Coach Harper talked to the ref. But as the Aviators, I think this is huge. This is the best team you have had in years. This is the second highest final ranked team, at the end of the regular season, that you've ever had. If I'm not mistaken, J.R. Jackson, mid-range won't go.
I think you're right, and here comes Firestone on the fast break. Only Sears to beat, and Kruger wins the battle. But excellent hustle up the floor by Braylon Sears.
Yeah, just a bit short there, trying to slap the ball out of his hands.
Now Jackson takes it underneath the basket, trying to find an outlet. He picks up Sam Hayes, and Sam Hayes can't get it to go. Kruger the rebound, and tipped out of bounds. Last touch in Cash Brisker, but there's that scrappiness. You look at him, you look at Cam Burton, you're seeing double.
The one change that I think you're seeing is with Cash Brisker,
the shooting.
You have a little less shooting, but you got a lot more defense. He's going to leave his heart on that court guarding your team's best man.
And he's a true one. Cam, he is at times a true one, which by that meaning assisting first.
Yeah, pass first player. KB tends to shoot the ball a little bit more. Good steal by Braylon Sears. He's going to run the fast break.
And this one could be a charge, and it will be. Nicely drawn up by Kruger. The second time today, Firestone has executed that play, and their fans are loving it as they should.
Yeah, well, and so what I want to say, the interesting thing about this game is it's pretty high scoring so far, but there's been so many blocks, and I believe a total of 3 charges taken, which is just absolutely preposterous when you look at the pace that both of these teams are playing at right now.
It's truly incredible, and this game's still far from over. And that's the key. Firestone hanging in this one a lot more than really anybody expected. It's a 47 seed versus a 1 seed. They're playing like a 14 and 15, if that. This Firestone team, they're hungry, and so is Alliance. Kruger against Brisker in the double team. And did he travel first? That's the question. They have not signaled jump ball. We'll see what the call officially is.
Looks like he's trying to separate him first. Jump ball. You know what? I like that call. And I like that idea by the Aviators. Their defensive schemes, the double teams, it's all working to plan so far. Yeah, in the first and second quarter, you didn't quite get all the stops that you wanted, but it's working to a T right now in the third.
And I would say to an extent, that play was anyway going to be Alliance basketball, as this one should go back to Firestone. But I thought if they didn't call the jump ball, it was a travel.
Right. It could have gone one of 2 ways, and I agree with you.
But if you're Firestone, where do you really think you are? How confident are you in your spots? And that one's poked out of bounds by Woods as it will stay with Firestone, but down by 10 against the number 1 seed. How are we feeling?
I think in the first 2, they're feeling great. This whole third quarter, they've scored 4 points, which is definitely not where you want to be.
And Louisville's up by 3 now.
Wow, how about that swing?
Big comeback for them, but still plenty of time. They have lost their last 8. So we'll see if that one does flip back or not. 1:40 on the clock in the third.
That may have been a travel just there, refs, no call.
And Spencer Jackson, he is clobbered as it's taken away by Parker Woods. He is in flight, but can't get it to go, and it's kicked out of bounds off of Cash Brisker.
A little too flashy, Parker Woods. That's the second time that we've seen that. He is just trying to do too much, if you ask me. Right there, I think the best option is go up and finish through contact.
And I would agree. It's just a tough one. It really is a tough decision. So 1:29 on the clock in the third. 43-33 as there's a steal from Cash Brisker. The bank won't open. He gets his own miss, has it blocked, and Jackson sets the table for Parker Woods. And he can't knock it down either. And it's a fast break. It's Jackson on Jackson, and Jackson is fouled.
Okay.
He lined up for the dunk. That's what he was trying to do there.
Here's where I'm going to go with this. You look at that shot that he just got fouled on, and that's a foul. You look at the 3 that the Aviators just took down the court on the previous possession. None of those were a foul. I think there needs to be some consistency. That's what we were missing earlier in the first, and I think there still lacks a little bit there where, to me, it gets to a point. I'm not saying that call was incorrect. I'm just saying if that's a foul, you have to consider what other calls in favor of Firestone or in favor of Alliance have to be fouls.
And I would have to agree completely with that. It has to be consistent in the playoffs as both are good for Spencer Jackson. And here comes the substitution. Plas is back in the game. As going to the bench is going to be Jordan Dampier, the senior. 43-35. This game's still far from over.
Yeah, still an 8-point game. I would say that's still a great range for the Firestone Falcons, especially considering how far they've come as a 47 seed.
It's incredible. It really is. It's Jackson open on the screen, and he knocks it down. An emphatic 3 from JR.
JR telling him, listen, ball don't lie. I'm going to take this 3, I'm going to hit it. Ooh,
and Alliance gets it right back.
Wow.
Just ran too quick with it. An 11-point game now. J.R. Jackson, that 3 was huge.
Yeah, and that's just what J.R. Jackson does. Coming up at the biggest moments, just no matter what. I mean, he is absolutely unforgiving with his timing on the 3 balls.
And now it's Parker Woods driving on the baseline, and he is fouled. Foul number 5 on Firestone. It's free throws.
Wow, that, you know what? I think that of all the fouls to call, in my eyes, if that's the one that you choose instead of any of those other ones on against Firestone, we have to make a better selection here. Like,
first of 2 good for Parker Woods.
I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about the refs. I just want to see a little more consistency, and I don't want to see a game come down to free throws. It's not entertaining at the end of the day.
And I would agree. Second one good for Parker. He now has 7. So 48-35, a 13-point lead for the Aviators. It's go time for Firestone yet again. Plas for Kruger. And here comes the fast-paced play. In the corner, well, shy for 3. No foul call. And Firestone, they are livid. Alliance wasting no time. No apologies. It's J.R. Jackson driving down low. Rolls around the entire paint and takes it back out the other way.
You know what he looked like right there? Chino Hills LaMelo Ball. Just literally running in circles.
We're going back to Chino Hills.
I'm not, in no way am I comparing J.R. Jackson to LaMelo Ball, but that play looked a lot like LaMelo at Chino Hills when he was literally running in circles around defenses.
That one out of bounds off of Firestone. 3.9 on the clock. Alliance, they want to set up their best shot here. It'll be Brisker to inbound. It's Thomas open down low, nobody close, and he will bank it in as the third quarter comes to a close. It's a playoff basket for Big K.
Kavion Thomas you know, the fans love it. And I think the big credit there is the inbound play that Coach Harper had written up. They're always so beautiful. I mean, they get you the right wide open looks. Big K right there just sinks it.
8 minutes left to go in regulations. Buckle up, Alliance. They are taking flight up by 15 on SmeeSports. Eight minutes left to go in regulation, and here comes Firestone shooting out of a cannon to begin the fourth, and now double dribbling to begin the fourth. Just a bit too quick and a lot to process in 4 seconds, but welcome back to Harry Fields Gymnasium. Now 7:56 on the clock. Alliance up by 15. They want to make it back to the district tournament. Last time they were there, bowed out in triple overtime to Villa Angela St. Joseph over at Akron North. They want to make amends, especially with the next round being here at Harry Fields Gymnasium. But still plenty of time. Jackson tips this one, and he picks it back up on the steal from the pass from Jackson.
Showing his DB nature there from the gridiron.
And drives to the double team, and he gets fouled. But Alliance, their biggest lead of the night, up by 15. All credit to Akron Firestone. They have been so gritty tonight, and they have given everything and then some. Is that fair?
Yeah, I know everyone says give 110%. I think Akron Firestone have given, I don't know, 120, 130, 140%. They're giving it their all. They're one of those teams that they're playing like a team possessed. They got nothing to lose, and they're coming out here, and they're playing like it.
They're matching the grit that I had to show to get through AP US history. With a concussion, no less.
That's true grit right there, if you ask me.
Little callback to when I got started in this business 5 years ago, as that one as well is good for Jackson. But a game-high 17-point lead for the Aviators. They have really pulled away nicely in this second half. And Jackson with the block. He will take it himself, and it's jam time! An emphatic slam from J.R. Jackson!
J.R. Jackson raising the roof.
And he gets the steal again. Here comes Alliance. It's Parker Woods, and he gets stripped going up for his own.
And I was going to say, you look at the way Parker went up with that. He wanted that one up, too. J.R. Jackson telling him.
And Bo Davis is waving the jersey.
Get up or get out of my gym. J.R. Jackson, take over tonight. Goodness gracious.
Fade away from Kavion Thomas, no good. But Channing Jellison puts it away.
My man Chan on the cleanup. Him and Sam Hayes, the cleanup crew here for the Aviators. I like to say that. They're great with the putbacks.
And here comes Kruger. Transition three. Bounces out, no good. Rebound Brisker. Alliance is off to the races. It's J.R. Jackson.
You got to shoot that.
Can't get it to go. And there's the foul. It's going to be on Alliance. But my word, the Aviators out of nowhere back to their McKinley form.
Wow, I mean, I just got goosebumps everywhere. This is the Alliance Aviators that we know and we love so dearly. J.R. Jackson going up and putting one down.
And in the other game, 48-47, Aurora up by 1 on Louisville. I'll tell you what, if they tune in and see this score, A, they're going to be just impressed by Firestone, but B, we really have no answers as to what's going to happen on Tuesday night. If a crazy comeback happens, the winner of that game could host. Or it could be Louisville here, as we've seen that this year, Alliance Aurora, or it could be the two green teams, Aurora and Firestone at Aurora. Could be anything.
It really could.
And then just put that into perspective on the bottom part of the bracket, no score updates from the Bedford or Akron Garfield games. What's happening over there? But we have a lot to unpack after this one's done. Brisker drives, no good. And there is the late foul call.
I was going to say maybe a little theatrics, but they seem to have paid off. as Cash Brisker gets the foul there. They're going to call it a blocking foul. I mean, this game is just, I think it's like I said as we came out. The Alliance Aviators are a second-half team. And when you said Louisville and Aurora, I don't think they're just going to be impressed by
as well. 48-36, I think, is the score. Bedford on top of Willoughby South.
All right.
I have to watch an ad to confirm.
I don't think they'll just be impressed by Firestone. I think when you look at how well Firestone has played, they're going to be insanely. Oh,
and there's the lob and the put in.
Wow.
It's beautiful from Jordan Dampier.
I was going to say they'll be scared of Alliance because against a really, really solid Firestone Falcon squad, they brought out Channing Jellison for three, just off.
And here comes Parker Woods with the rebound, taken from behind. Spencer Jackson gets fallen upon there, and it's a full pileup. It was 58-36, Bedford on top.
Okay.
And that's why you watch your huddle ad.
Kavion Thomas getting in the mix there. Love Kavion, but if I was in a kind of a on-the-ground scuffle against him, I don't think I'd want him to be landing on top of me.
I agree with that one. So now it looks to be free throws here.
I'm going to take a quote, and this is from me watching Big Z Sports.
As well, final score 58-33. Akron Garfield has knocked off Uniontown Lake. So the winner, most likely Bedford, as we expect, will take on Akron Garfield at Akron Garfield on Tuesday. Not to cut you off there.
No, you're good. But Big Z Sports, as they quoted when Kavion was coming in, he's the wide body here for the Aviators, and he looks like the most recent Cleveland Cavalier with the beard.
I like it. I really do. And I know the Holy Name Barstool, they had fun years ago with Kayvon Davis when he played at Holy Name against, of course, the Namers in that game. That game still pains me.
Yeah, that's
2 years ago on Sunday.
That was probably, I'm not going to say that game in specific, but those seasons with, Diego Allen, Kayvon. Oh, Big K with the floater won't go. But yeah, those years with those teams, I mean, that's when I really started getting into Alliance Aviators basketball and watching.
So now a 20-point game, 57-37. 5:35 on the clock in regulation. As well, Louisville up by 3 now. So a really back and forth affair over there. Going to be a highly contested finish. It's Jones. His three is good.
Whoa.
DJ Jones knocks it down. He now has 8.
He said, I got one for you, JR.
And there's the timeout called by Firestone as they want to talk things over. 5:23 left to go in regulation. It's a 17-point game on SmeeSports. Welcome back to the Harry Fils Gymnasium. 57-40 your score in the fourth quarter. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Louisville and Aurora. 3:12 left to go in Louisville. It is the Leopards up by 3 in that one. Looking for their first win in their last 9 games, losing their last 8 before this one. But Alliance, they're looking for their 13th consecutive win, which is impressive all the way around.
Especially with the schedule that they have.
Sears, his deep three. Not going to get it. It's off the side iron, and it's going to be picked up by Kruger. Tipped away, and Pasco picks it up. It's a free possession for the Aviators, and a free three.
And they make the most of it. I was going to say Cole Pasco doing his job, hustling, giving it to Parker Woods, who does his job, banging out the three.
Back to a 20-point lead for Alliance. 4:50 left to play in regulation. Kruger drives. His mid-range is good. A nice little clean swish there from the junior guard. And the big thing for Firestone, they do have a lot of key pieces coming back. And that'll help them out a lot. It's Sam Hayes driving, no good. And tipped down and picked up by DJ Jones. one of the non-returners for next year as a senior. So his career is on the line tonight, and still some time to play around. It's Jones, hooks it down low, picks up Dampier, and Dampier puts it away.
That cuts it to 16. It's not over till it's over, at the end of the day.
Neither game. As once again, it's now 53-51 Louisville.
Parker,
To quote Kevin Harlan, I'm calling both games at the same time.
Parker Woods driving in there, just lost a touch, maybe a little theatrics, trying to draw the foul. Just couldn't get it to happen. Firestone ball with a huge opportunity to continue cutting down that lead.
With 4:06 on the clock, stranger things have happened. And I think you would agree there. A lot of crazy things have happened in this gymnasium over the years. This would be another. Jackson plays it off for Kruger. And the key right now, you gotta keep a steady flow rate. You can't get too complacent or too slow. Kruger from the key, well shy, and it's kept alive but picked up by J.R. Jackson. A big stop for the Aviator defense. Down low, Cole Pasco stays set and takes the 2.
And you know what, Cole Pasco, I'm repping his number 32 jersey right here. That's the open layup you got to hit. Cole has 8 right now.
It's Jones in the wing, 3:30 left to go in regulation. Alliance trying to see this one out. In the double team, back up top for Kruger. Inside, Dampier rolls it off. And it's picked up by Sears, loose ball. And it's
They're going to say it stays with Firestone.
don't know if it's a foul or just out of bounds. That's the key right now to see.
And that's another one where it's like, you got 2 guys falling on the ball. We can't see from up here. It's a close one. Can't say I'm mad with that.
But I mean, every single game in this district, it'll play the full course.
Absolutely.
No running clocks, which is really impressive. But Akron Garfield already clinching a spot in the district semifinals. Bedford about to do the same. 2 spots left up for grabs. Plus, his 3 can't get it to go. Rebound, Cam Burton.
I was going to say 32 on 32 action, pulling the 3 there, just didn't get it.
And as things stand here, it looks like it's going to be Alliance doing the same, clinching a spot to play either Aurora or Louisville. So a big game going on over in Louisville that we'll have coverage of soon. And Pasco puts that one away. And by coverage, I mean whatever Sammy Lee says is happening is what's happening.
And with that, Cole Pasco's in double digits to join Sam Hayes and J.R. Jackson, the 2 biggest scorers on this team, I would say.
Those 2 definitely clutch scores. Beautiful cut down low, somehow kept alive. It's Kruger in the corner, getting it on the lucky bounce off of Spencer Jackson. And this one's out of bounds, and it will go to Firestone.
You know, I just want to point out, Smee, half of these possessions, you are gassed just because of how much is going on. Off ball, on ball, travels, fouls, out of bounds, whatever it may be. Wide open look, and 1. Oh, wow.
A beautiful finish there for Firestone. And they needed that one to fall, and they got it. So here comes DJ Jones trying to cap it off. So 64-46. But the fact that Firestone is going to finish potentially within 20 of Alliance, that's huge for them.
That's an achievement of its own.
That's a program-building game.
Absolutely. Especially in the context of what the seeding has done here, creating a 1 versus 47 seed matchup, and Firestone still shows out like this.
And the end one is good.
Off of a very high bounce off the top of the backboard.
So now a 17-point game, 64-47. Hayes in transition, knocks down the 3, and that should do it.
The Aviators now have, I don't even want to say it.
And that one's out of bounds, my goodness.
That one almost went off Gary King. Oh, Coach King, look out. But, yeah, now the Aviators are still up 20. They have 67 points. They're reaching that 70-point margin that they have hit quite frequently throughout the season. This is one of the high-scoring teams in Stark County, up there with Canton McKinley and, of course, Massillon Washington.
And here comes KB banking it in. Alliance up by 22.
Beautiful kick out fake by KB. Just pivots back in, wide open for the layup.
A minute 50 left to play in regulation. Alliance, they will improve to 21-2 on the year. Firestone, they will end their campaign at 5-17. Here comes Cam Burton in the corner. Jackson out wide to Cam Burton, and he knocks it down!
How about that, KB? JR told him, you take the shot. You take it. He almost got blocked, and he swished it anyway.
unfazed from Cam Burton. He now has 11. 4 Aviators on the floor right now in double figures.
And there took too long to get it up court, Aviator ball. And you know what? With KB, that's why I say in my player intro, he's got ice in his veins. In a clutch moment like this, he still comes out and hits the three. Okay, this is what the fans want to see. Kavion Thomas, Demontre Gurley, Ravon Hawkins, and CJ Harper all checking into the game. Ooh! Now this, wow. Michael checking in the game. We got three freshmen, if I'm not mistaken. Michael Hardy coming in. Wow. Aviators making a statement here at the end of the game. We've got 4. Oh my goodness.
And here come the changes for Firestone as well, as they're going to match.
4 freshmen.
I mean, all the way around, a valiant effort tonight for Firestone, but it's going to be Alliance dancing on to the district semifinals. And it's Louisville up by 5, so right now, that looks to be one of your matchups solidified. I believe you have both men at this point. Assuming that result holds, we'll see. Harper in the corner. He can't knock it down. Strong rebound. The putback not there, and it's swatted away. That was Gurley getting that rebound.
Demontre Gurley. I'm going to tell you this. When you continue broadcasting Alliance Aviators athletics, he is the kid to watch. Him and CJ Harper. Demontre Gurley is a freshman who can dunk. He is a freak athlete, I'm telling you. There's a bright future here in Alliance, even in the absence of J.R. Jackson.
For sure. 1:05 on the clock. Here comes CJ Harper, and he will bank it in. And that's his first career playoff basket. And it's another Aviator on the board. In the end, it's going to be all Alliance in this one. This one's over. Flower at the top. A couple of freshmen getting involved in the action for Firestone as their season is set to come to a close tonight. Flower just trying to find some space. Tipped in the air by Hawkins and picked up by Reddick. Firestone trying to find one more basket. Ramsey in the corner, puts it on the ground and rolled out of bounds. And that one's going to be off of Gurley.
And here's the one thing I'm going to say to the Alliance fans. We hear you with the "he's a freshman" chant, but Firestone matched that play. We've come to a complete, it's a zen close. This is not the physical matchup that we've seen earlier.
And there's the corner three. Flower knocks it down.
That's a nice looking shot right there. You know, both of these teams have extremely bright futures.
And Firestone, they're not done yet. It's Reddick driving, and Reddick will put it away. So a couple of late baskets here for Akron Firestone. 74-52. Final 10 seconds. Another pick. Firestone getting this one a little bit closer. There is the block from behind. An imposing play there from Hardy.
Michael Hardy, who is, I'll lightly say, all of 5'6" maybe, with a huge block at the end of the playoff game. Technical on the bench on one of Firestone's assistant coaches. I totally missed that.
It was a calm one.
Probably some foul language, I would have to say, is the only thing that it could be at this point.
That's what I would have to say as well.
And it'll be the senior, Ravon Hawkins, to the free throw line to get his first playoff points of his career, if I'm not mistaken. Hawkins his first. He nails it.
You gotta love it for the senior here.
Listen to the fans roar, guys. This is what basketball is all about. Both teams. It was a great game for both teams, absolutely. You got some freshmen, some seniors coming into the game that maybe don't normally play. And you know what? It brings a smile to my face. You know, my heartbeat is slowed down a little bit.
Final few seconds here as Harper's going to let this one roll out of bounds, and the clock will stop. 0.6 of a second left. So a very much dragged out finish tonight. But Alliance, they will go on to host the winner of Aurora and Louisville here on Tuesday. One more inbound, and that'll do it. Alliance, for the first time in Chet Harper's coaching career here, has won a home playoff game. 75-52, your final score tonight.
And, you know, I just want to interject before we wrap up. You will see down at the student section an administrator who has told the students, listen, you cannot storm the court until they finish the handshake. So they're waiting right now, and we'll have a court storm for Alliance's first round playoff victory, a bit of a revenge after that. They got bounced last year by Barberton in a crazy game, might I add.
I mean, that game was one of the wildest ones that we've covered in our time covering the Aviators. It was really a madhouse here, as you remember.
Oh, I certainly remember. I was down in that crowd, and it was just wild. I mean, my boy Cole Pasco had to show him the jersey. He had a great night. So many great nights for a few players. Sam Hayes, I believe, had 10. Cole Pasco had 10. JR was nearing 20. Last time, I don't have that steel trap memory like you. I see you running through the numbers right now. We will, at some point, be back with our player of the game, which is a huge one and a huge win for the Alliance Aviators. Again, just monumental, a program victory, but the Aviators are looking to go a lot farther than the first round.
And while we do have our final stats, we'll toss it back up here for that information. Where do we start? Firestone, we're going to start there. Kruger had 12, Flower had 3, Jones had 11, Reddick had 4, 4 for Dampier, 16 for Jackson, and 2 for Nate Plass. I'll tell you what, they hustled tonight, and they deserve all the credit in the world. They kept this one a lot closer than many people thought. As a 47 seed, they needed a result like tonight, and, well, they played as hard as they possibly could.
Absolutely, and, as a player or a coach, you don't want to say, you know what, we're okay with the loss. But I think right here today for the Akron Firestone Falcons, it's not that you're okay with the loss, but it's a loss that you're proud of in a way, right? You look at how much you hustled, it doesn't hurt as much, right? In my eyes, from a former player standpoint, that's where I'm at with it, where, you know what, at least we put 150% out on that court, hustling for everything, no matter the score, no matter anything. They were out there to play.
And then beyond that for Alliance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in double figures tonight. Jackson had 19, Burton had 11, Woods had 10, Hayes had 13, and Pasco had 10. Jellison had 4, Thomas had 2, Harper had 2, Sears had 2, Hawkins had 1. And as well, Brisker had 1. But your player of the game presented by SmeeSports, where do you think I'm going here?
I think you got to go to the man, the myth.
I'm going to stop you there. Cole Pasco is your player of the game tonight. 10 points and all that defense. You got to go with the defense. The moment he imposed his will, that's when Firestone's offense fell apart.
You know what? I don't want to say I was going in exactly the same direction as you, but I like that. Cole Pasco, he's a defensive menace. He's a pest in the paint. He makes it happen on the other side of the ball for the Aviators.
And we're not giving player of the game to the same player every game.
That's also true. You have to look at it from that standpoint as well. But Cole Pasco, well-deserved. He took a few charges, got a few blocks, got a few steals. He's hustling all the time. I think he reminds me a little bit of Rick Ross because every day he's hustling.
Up next for Alliance, and for us for that matter, the winner of Louisville and Aurora back here at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. We look forward to broadcasting that game. Should be a fun one no matter who is here in this building.
Absolutely, especially when you look at the way that game was going. It looked like a bit of a shootout back and forth between both teams. Louisville is a team that Alliance has already beat, so Aurora being a new opponent, if they win, it's either a familiar face or a new opponent, and like you said, it'll be exciting either way. It's playoff basketball.
And, of course, on the bottom end of the bracket, it's going to be Akron-Garfield, the 11th seed, hosting number 13, Bedford. That'll be a fun matchup as well. You have two high-flying offenses. That could go either way, but I think for the emotions, an Alliance Akron-Garfield district championship game at Strongsville on Saturday. On one end, Alliance trying to win that first district crown since 1982, and then Rayshawn Hamilton's whole story at Akron-Garfield. I mean, whichever team loses, you're going to feel just that heartbreak and just that heavy feeling in your gut knowing that team lost.
Yeah, and I also want to say that when we go to Division III, there's a reason why a lot of people argue that in Ohio high school boys basketball, Division III might be one of the hardest just because of the sheer spread of talent across everything. And it's not like a thing where you're going to have that matchup, Alliance versus Akron-Garfield, and you're like, oh, it's a gimme for either team. It's like both of these teams are going to fight, and at the end of the day, one of those teams has to lose, which is the worst part about it, of course.
It really is, and that's the difficult thing with the playoffs. So, as I usually do during the playoffs, a special thank you goes out to the following: DJ Jones, Beckham Nefkin, Jordan Dampier, Those three are your three seniors from Akron Firestone. So congratulations to those gentlemen, and I'm sure on behalf of a very grateful high school over at Akron Firestone, thank you for what you've done for that program over the last 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Even as an Alliance fan, it was a fantastic game. And here's what I'll say. When you put up a fight like this, that's how you know these kids love to play. It's not about they just play basketball because they play basketball. Then they wouldn't be showing so much effort. These kids just love the game of basketball, and that's just what I like to see. I'm a basketball enjoyer. At the end of the day, I love basketball. It's my favorite sport. Yeah, I like baseball. Football's cool too, but basketball, that is it for me. Just love to see it from both teams. A fantastic night here at Harry Fields Gymnasium. I think you can close it for us.
Fun night tonight. Alliance gets the win by 23. The winner of Aurora and Louisville is up next for the Alliance Aviators and for us here on SmeeSports. But to stay up to date on all the games we are covering, follow us on our social media pages at SmeeSports on Instagram and TikTok, SmeeSports LLC on Facebook and LinkedIn, and SmeeFest 2024 on Twitter. As well, go down below and subscribe. While there is no added cost, it greatly helps out all that we do here at SmeeSports as we cover the best of the Cleveland and the Stark County areas. Once again, Tuesday night, back here in the building at 7, another Alliance Aviator basketball playoff game. It is the district semifinals with the winner of Bedford and Akron Garfield awaiting at the Ville, Strongsville High School on Saturday, March 6th. It's getting into the nitty-gritty. Sectional titles are being decided tonight. Tomorrow, we flip our attention to the district tournament, and then from there, in a week's time, we flip to regionals. Crazy to think it's almost over, but that'll do it for us here tonight at Harry Fields Gymnasium. Alliance gets the win 75-52 over Akron Firestone. For Cooper Fontaine, I am Nathan Smee saying so long from Alliance, and we will see you again next time. This has been OHSAA Basketball on SmeeSports in partnership with Spectrum Channel 1022 Alliance.